Alright, this time let's talk about comics. As a kid I wanted to draw comics myself, so here we have this book I picked up a few years ago, just horror comics, and these are more obscure ones. This is pretty awesome. It spans many decades, so many different kinds of art styles and stuff in them. And then this heavy-ass Tales from the Crypt box. This is just a big-ass box with all hardcovers of Tales from the Crypt. And I plan to read more of these sometime soon, hopefully, because I've been really interested in old horror comics, because this is where people like George Romero got their inspiration from. So then I think I have to mention Turtles comics, Ninja Turtles, because I have quite a bit of these. I already did a video about that before. We did it as part of Turtle Tuesdays, which every Tuesday we did something turtle related. And these are the original Turtles comics, and what can be said about them? They're awesome. So I did a whole video about these, but the only thing new since that video is that up until then, I only had these 4 books, these 4, compilations, and I was very confused as to how Casey Jones shows up so abruptly, and really there was one that was missing in there. I don't know why they didn't put it in there, but this is just the Raphael one-off issue, because they did this with the other Turtles, but strangely they included the Leonardo one in those books at least, but they didn't include the Raphael one. And this one's really important because this is the first time you see Casey Jones, and Raphael meets up with Casey Jones in the park and they fight, and it's just like that scene in the movie. I mean, that's where they got it from. So it's more evidence that the movie took a lot from the comics, so it was very faithful how they took a lot of those stories. I still say the first Turtles movie was one of the best comic book movies that I've seen in my lifetime. And then also I've gotten the IDW ones, and these are the more recent Turtles comics. These ones are really awesome too. So then we can move on to Batman, but I don't even know where to go. Like, Batman is so infinite. Like, where do you go? I'm not like a huge expert either. Like, there's people who are really hardcore into Batman, but I've always enjoyed it. These are, I like to go back to where things started. That's just me. So I have volume 1 and 2 of these. It was back when Batman used to use a gun and used to throw people out windows and kill them and stuff. It's funny how anytime you look up a top 10 list of Batman, it's always this is a great one, by the way, Killing Joke. I love this, but usually it's Killing Joke and Dark Knight Returns. If you look up list of best Batman comics, that's always what you see. It's always Frank Miller. It's never Bob Kane. I don't know what it is, but I just feel like the old Batman comics are very underrated for some reason. I don't know, maybe they aren't, but this is one of my favorites, actually, Haunted Night. I remember I was attracted to that one because the Halloween-themed Batman story sounded really cool. There's, of course, Batman Year One. This is a really good one, but this is one that everybody talks about. So this one here is Best Joker Stories Ever Told. So it's just a bunch of compilations of different Joker stories. Scarecrow Tales. I like this one because, I got this in the Joker because they're my 2 favorite villains. I feel like Scarecrow never got his potential in the movies. I remember when The Dark Knight Rises came out, I got the whole Nightfall story arc where Bane cripples Batman and then the new Batman takes his place. Then I have the Indiana Jones comics here, and they started out with Marvel, and it started with basically just Raiders of the Lost Ark, and it would be basically the movie in a comic, but then they took it further and they did the further adventures. That's where it got interesting, I think, is just to see all the different potential stories that they could have done with Indiana Jones. And you could tell how they got a lot of inspiration from other movies with it, like North by Northwest. I mean, the cover right there, it's one of the most famous Hitchcock scenes. Then it moved on to Dark Horse, started doing them, and these ones I have in compilations, basically. I have 2 books here, volume 1 and 2. These ones got a little more violent, actually. So there's a lot of blood, and I mean, just look at that. I like the artwork a lot better in these ones, and I like the choices of subject matter. Like one of them, Indiana Jones finds Atlantis, and then there's another one where he finds the Spear of Destiny, which I always thought would have been a great topic to base one of the movies on. And then let's move on to Star Wars. This is Dark Empire, and I got this one because I remember at the time I got this, I was interested in what Episode 7 would be, and I was always curious as to what would how the story would continue. It's mostly about Luke Skywalker is now starting to actually follow the footsteps of Anakin, his father. He's starting to actually be lured to the dark side. Right next to that is Mickey Mouse, so I might as well pick this one up too, because it would have seemed weird before that Mickey Mouse is right next to Star Wars, but now it doesn't seem so strange because Disney owns them both. This one right here, this is some of the old Mickey Mouse comic strips, like the really, really old ones that most people forgot about. And Mike Matei helped with this book, and he wrote a blog one time on Cinemassacre that's all about, he tells you a little more about it. This is the kind of Mickey Mouse that most people don't remember. He's very different than the Mickey Mouse that's more commonly known today. Garfield. So I used to try to collect all the Garfield books that they would put out, because there's a comic strip every day in the newspaper, but then they'd start putting them together in these books. And Garfield's been around for a long time. I think longer than I've been born. So I can never keep up with all of them. But at one point I tried to collect all these, and then it just got too much. And then actually after a while it became kind of the same thing over again. But what made Garfield so interesting to me was that he was just like a real cat. That the old comics, back when Garfield used to walk on all fours, and he started walking upright eventually, but when he was on all fours, he was just like a real cat. A lot of the things that I would laugh at because they were true. It's like, yeah, I mean, because I've had lots of cats. My cat did that too. So it's just a lot of truth in these. So that's why I find them so funny. So that's it for all these book videos for the time being. Maybe I'll do some more later. If you can't already tell, I've done all these back to back. I've done these all on the same day. So I don't know, maybe I'll do some more sometime. I'll see you then.